Okay. Welcome to What's Niggling Me. First thing that's niggling me is I forgot to buy papers again today, so I can't smoke a joint. But this is probably going to be all over the place. I just had these a lot of thoughts here about Jack the Ripper. Apparently they found out who the person was through DNA and a relative. They found out who Jack the Ripper was. I did a tour of where this guy murdered all these people when I was 15 or 16, long fucking time ago. It was not a nice area. Old. Now, the people in this... See, it's important to... Fuck, I don't even know where I'm going with this. Oh, I know where I'm going with this. Trust me. That might be true. But I want to... shed light on all the lies. Now, all the people are dead in my story here. There was, and it's gonna kind of be all over the place, but there's a bunch of people that connect. There's a bunch of people that connect. Charles Manson, pretty famous. His parole officer worked with, was a doctoral student, worked at Berkeley. A lot of this is going down in California, San Francisco, in the 60s. This guy owns the Dave Smith, no relation to the comic, owns the Haight-Ashbury Medical Clinic. And he received funding from the federal government. USAID or USAID was a thing at that point, but I don't know if that's who was funding it, but it was the federal government. These things, the things I'm going to talk about here, are out there. They're declassified, they're facts. You just got to read them. The other person that worked there was Jolly West. You know him? Louis Jolly West, CIA psychologist. He worked with Sidney Gottlieb. His mentor was Ira Baldwin, I think is the guy's name is. That guy invented bioweapons. Well, was like the pioneer for bioweapons. But Sidney Gottlieb was the head of the MK Ultra program. Facts, proven, declassified documents. Gottlieb experimented with special interrogation techniques on captured prisoners at black sites. We might still do that. Not me. Not Canada ain't doing that. The United States is doing that. But he was trying to, Sidney Gottlieb was trying to create a Manchurian candidate watched that one movie with George Clooney. And it's trippy. He's Michael Clayton in another one. Okay. Project Bluebird is the Project Bluebird declassified operation. Not Bluebeam. Bluebird. They wanted to make somebody that could look it up. And guess who he worked with? Allen Dulles, who became head of the CIA, and his brother, Secretary of State. Like that evil person, Hillary Clinton. Okay. John Dulles, I think, is Allen Dulles' brother's name. He got cancer and he resigned in 1959. Allen Dulles got fired in November, the 20-something. I don't know if it's the 22nd or 29th, I think. Allen Dulles gets fired from he headed the CIA by JFK. JFK gets killed. Allen Dulles gets put on the commission to investigate the death. Okay? Now, Mr. West. Mr. West, Jolly West, he shot Lee Harvey Oswald, right? That's irrefutable, I'm pretty sure. Like, I'm 100% on that. No conspiracy. I think anybody's conspiring to hide can say it was somebody else. Now, Jack Rubenstein's doctor was Jolly West. Charles Manson's doctor at the Haight-Ashbury Clinic 5 years later, no, like, you know what I mean? Like, the years are confusing. Jack Ruby's in jail in 1964. And Jolly West is his doctor. Charles Manson's going to the Haight-Ashbury Clinic in the 60s. And Jolly West works there. He's higher up, he's high up. He also worked at UCLA. He worked a lot of places. It's against HIPAA, obviously, but I'm sure everybody would love to see, now that he's dead, and probably most of those people are dead, Jolly West's patient list. Can you imagine? Charles Manson, Jack Rubenstein, both of them went crazy. Jolly West was working with Sidney Gottlieb on the MK Ultra program, dosing these people with high amounts of LSD. A lot of times they didn't even know. If your parents went to UCLA or in that area, it would have to be these people would have to be, if anybody that was growing up in the 60s in San Francisco, UCLA, and you were having fun doing drugs, probably could have been involved in that, knowingly or unknowingly. Now, Mr. West, you would think, oh, that seems wild, that a man of Jewish descent would torture another man of Jewish descent. George Soros gave up Jewish people to Nazis in order to save his own ass when he was in Hungary growing up. That guy's a real evil piece of shit. So I don't put it past him that a couple decades later, Jolly West was doing a little torture, and Sidney Gottlieb, they were doing a little torture. So when I looked into Jolly West, you know, this guy loved it. This guy was really excited about doing experiments. He was excited about the mind. A lot of them were. So I saw Jolly West went to university in 1949, I think. Then he went into the military. And he worked in the medical unit. And he was appointed to figure out why 36 of the 59 prisoners North Korea had taken said that they agreed, the North Koreans said that the United States committed war crimes. The North Koreans said that. And those soldiers agreed that the United States, the American soldiers agreed. And he was tasked with figuring out why they would agree with the North Koreans. There must be brainwashed. So he determined that they were just sleep deprived. That was the tactic. And that was the tactic. I read quite a few. That was like Soviets, Germans, like everybody that was capturing people. And the United States was, obviously it works because they continued to do it. They did it in Iraq. They were doing it to them. They were torturing the shit out of these people. Tons of innocent people. They were torturing them, putting them on leashes, fucking having them be in human pyramids naked, just demoralizing them. It's all about demoralization. You can demoralize people to make them like mute. If you ever watch Game of Thrones, there's a character in there that gets tortured, and they become so submissive. That's the goal. You dehumanize people. That's so that's like the early 50s, 53, 54, somewhere in there. Sidney Gottlieb and Alan Dulles, like they're working on mind control, brainwashing, Manchurian Candidate, allegedly a Lee Harvey Oswald or a Sirhan or a Thomas Crooks. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not going to throw any more out there because I don't need to get my video pulled. But there's a lot of curious ones in the last 20 years, I'd say. I've heard some interesting stories of situations in the United States that are just like don't seem to add up, and their family connections and stuff are pretty interesting. It officially, this is a fact, officially the CIA, they say, terminated the MK Ultra program in 73, I believe. So, 20 years, they've admitted to They've admitted to 20 years of doing this. Testing on knowing and unknowing people, setting up a brothel near the Haight-Ashbury Clinic. And like, obviously there's the book Chaos by Tom O'Neill. That's the best, most comprehensive book of detailing things. No podcast or video like Roger Stone. There's so many videos, okay, about JFK's death. There's tons of movies and stuff like that. And there's gonna have to be another once we actually get the answers we all know are pretty much the answers. Who's gonna fund that? Who's gonna produce that? I don't know. Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan should be putting up the money. He should be getting all his buddies together. And when we get the 2,400 more documents on the JFK assassination, maybe there's a movie to be made, a real documentary, like a real 3-4 hour documentary. I have no problem watching that. Maybe Brian Fogel, who did The Dissident and Icarus. Maybe we get something like that. Because if you believe Lee Harvey Oswald was the lone gunman, did it just because he didn't like JFK, or I don't know what that lone gunman reasoning would be, but that he set up and sniped him. Then I know you fell for every single brainwashing thing that's come since then. You definitely got a bunch of shots. And it's unfortunate for people that trust the news and trust the government, that what they're telling you is the truth. It's fucking insane. But there's a lot of you. There's a lot of people out there. And if I just mentioned quite a few names, you know, there's weird connections in there, you know, that Alan Dulles was working with Jolly West and Sidney Gottlieb on making somebody that you could brainwash them, you could turn them into somebody like a soldier, that you could turn them on to kill somebody. That's pretty crazy. Brainwashing people, wiping people's brains, that's the stuff these people were working on. And then Alan Dulles becomes the head of the commission to, maybe not the head, I have to look, but I imagine he took lead. He was former CIA director. And determined Lee Harvey Oswald was the lone gunman. And then Jack Ruby was mad, I guess, that Lee Harvey Oswald killed the president, so he just ran up to him and shot him and killed him. And then he went into jail, somehow went insane, got cancer and died, knowing that his doctor was Charles Manson's doctor, and both of those guys went insane. But how insane was Jack Rubenstein? I got a couple of things I'll read you. These are from the JFK archives that are released, but you gotta go and read them. And I'll read two. I don't want these cookies. Get the fuck out of here. This is Psychiatric Examination of Jack Ruby by Dr. Lewis Jolly West. Report of Psychiatric Examination of Jack Ruby by, okay, I just heard it, MD, Professor of Psychiatry at University of Oklahoma, School of Medicine in Oklahoma City, dated Sunday, April 26, 1964. The report discusses Dr. West's psychiatric examination of Ruby conducted the day after Ruby attempted suicide by banging his head on the walls of his jail cell. Dr. West describes Ruby's delusions that outside his jail cell is a widespread massacre of the Jewish people, caused by the fact that the nation now blames Ruby for the Kennedy assassination. Ruby distrusts the doctor since he denies that these massacres are happening. Dr. West concludes with a diagnosis of acute psychosis, a paranoid state, and suicidal tendencies. He recommends that Ruby be transferred to a mental facility for proper assessment and treatment. The report is signed by Dr. West and David Candish, notarized. Okay. Less than 2 months before his death, defense attorney Phil Burleson discussed Jack Ruby's delusions, which included his belief in the widespread murder of Jewish people. Jack Ruby became erratic. It was worse after the sentence. During the course of the appeal, he was of the opinion the Jews were being killed by the thousands. I would go see him again and again. This is after the verdict, and he said, I saw them kill Earl last night, and I said, no, they didn't kill Earl. Yeah, I saw them kill him. And I'd get on the phone and get Earl on the telephone, and he'd talk to Earl, and they'd talk about things that only he and Earl would know about. He'd hang up and say, that wasn't Earl. At that point, he was totally out of it. I mean, this is after many, many, many months of him seeing Earl being killed and Sister Eva being killed and hundreds of Jews being killed, and that Lyndon Johnson was involved in the assassination of the president. I can't even remember all the accusations that he made during that period of time. That's pretty weird. It almost sounds like this low-level guy, Jack Rubenstein, was maybe an MK Ultra patient, a Project Bluebird patient, maybe, I don't know. I'm just reading the archives. Lyndon Johnson, he seemed to benefit from it. JFK he wasn't a huge ally of the Israeli people because they wanted to have nuclear weapons. He wasn't about that. And I by no means am saying that they did it all. There's a lot of people involved. So with all of that information that is facts, bring them to the AI. That tells me the government's lying forever. That tells me the government will kill the president. So you can't trust. You can't trust them. And you can't trust any fucking meme coins. You guys are ruining the crypto market. There's so many dumb people that are buying meme coins. Stop falling for that stupid shit. It's like the stupid people that promote gambling. They're making money off of you because you're going to go there and lose all of your money. And these people are getting affiliate fucking things. They're getting paid to promote it. don't fall for meme coins. There's no utility. If you're gonna buy any crypto, look at the projects and look if there's a function for it. And this is not financial advice, but I suggest what I'm doing is not buying them. Except I have one Trump coin because it's a commemorative token. I'm not looking to make any money. If you buy this, you bought Libra, shouldn't have done it. You bought Hawk Tuo coin. That's stupid. They need to do their lessons. You learned your lesson. But to the people that are making all these meme coin projects, you're ruining crypto. You're not ruining it. You're stifling its progress. Fuck off. Just to make fucking quick money. So many people with no morals and ethics. What the fuck? So if we get this JFK stuff, I don't know how blatantly obvious they're gonna make it aware, like that they're not gonna pull these documents that really implicate all these people. I'm just saying. All those people were doing those things. The way they painted Charles Manson, and they did that to him. He was a singer before. He didn't go to jail till the end of the 60s. They were doing these experiments all in that area for a long time. Charles Manson got out of jail a bunch of fucking times where any other person would go. He was getting let out because he was a patient of the CIA, in my opinion. And they created him. They created him, in my opinion. And they put the satanic occult stuff all over him. And maybe he was doing that stuff. So were people in NASA. One of the top guys in NASA, can't think of his name right now. It's a pretty basic one. And he... satanic. A lot of that shit. A lot of that Aleister Crowley stuff. A lot of music people like it. That's why all the Illuminati stuff is always talked about. I think a lot of people are... Maybe some people are doing it. But I think a lot of people are playing. They're just playing, pretending. I hope maybe something I said, maybe some names that you don't know, didn't know were connected, makes you want to go look up more. I really want to see more documents. I really want to see nobody buy any meme coins. Got a lot of snow here. I fucking hate it. Niggles me. I'm waiting on a package and it's fucked because of the snow. Okay. I don't know how long we've been doing this, but we'll see if I pop one of these out in the next Probably not tomorrow. I'm busy tomorrow during the day. Wednesday, Thursday. Thursday. Pop one of these bitches out on Thursday. Hopefully my Fauci one. There's so much for me to record and put together. And look at this was kind of a mess. These things are just on my mind. They niggle me. And I'm excited and I'm thinking like, oh, like I hope this kind of stuff can help people realize the dirty tricks these governments are playing. They're fucking liars. I just want people to wake the fuck up. Stop believing the government is looking out for you. They're looking out for themselves. A lot of them are bought and paid sick fucks. Look how many people Biden sniffed. Not people. Look how many kids Biden sniffed. Fucking weirdo. Alright, deuces.